Hi everyone. In today's video, we are going to start application migration to Azure. We'll migrate ASP.NET app migration to Azure. We need to migrate ASP.NET web application and data to Azure App Service and Azure SQL database. If you have experience on virtual machines, Windows Server, IIS, how IIS can host ASP.NET application, basic SQL Server administration and configuration, basic knowledge on Azure SQL database, then you can understand this migration process very easily. So let's begin. Let's take a look at the agenda. So I will be discussing on migration questions or evaluation, hosting options, what are the benefits of migration, networking requirements, Azure AD, Active Directory, cost, Azure App Service, and Azure SQL database. Migration assistance tools, evaluation of your existing environment, security consideration, and Azure DevOps. Now, in migration questions or evaluation, there will be few questions that may come up in the meetings which happens between you and the client team. Questions can be like, what are the issues that we are going to solve? Do we need to re-architect the application? How much will be the cost of migration and hosting? What will be the application downtime? These are the questions. For example, it may come up in the meetings that you will be having with the client team. Firstly, for migrating ASP.NET application from on-premises to Microsoft Azure with Azure SQL database, we need to evaluate the process. What is the right approach? Okay, so now suppose you are working as a consultant or architect in a company and your client has a web application in their own infrastructure. They are running Windows servers, IIS, and SQL Server. The main reason of migrating to Azure App Service is the maintenance cost that they are currently incurring. So, before doing any kind of consideration of moving to Azure and migrating apps and data, of course, we need to assess the client's environment, application, and requirement. As part of migration activity, senior leadership team of your company asked you and your client server admin team and team lead of Windows team to evaluate the migration scenario. They want you to provide the details of any potential issues which can prevent the successful migration. You need to remember their business goals also. For .NET application migration, we have to consider the hosting option also. Microsoft offers three main hosting options. We can choose either IaaS, PaaS, or SaaS. We need to evaluate this option and recommending the most suitable model. So let's start. We know about on premises. Here, all the responsibility will be on the management, means the management of the company or the client. They are responsible for procuring and installing all the hardware and software. Client needs to set up and configure the network and security on the server and application. Client needs to do the patching and licensing. This is what on premises looks like. But if you are considering for IaaS, infrastructure as a service, this model, client need to manage the application, runtime, security, data. Basically, in this model, client is renting the IT infrastructure. They have to manage the OS application and data, install the OS patches also. Suppose if your client is using some proprietary software which is not provided in PaaS, then you have to recommend for IaaS. You can use the same VM which is hosted in on-premise and take a snapshot of the VM and then move it to Azure IaaS. This option is actually very easy because for moving the .NET application to Azure. Now, to choose IaaS hosting option, there may be many reasons, but there will be some common reason. First reason is security. Your client may need to comply with certain security practices or policies. Or client wants more control over the environment or OS. Or your client has some lock-in objection. If there is a need, then you can move your VM or .vhd file to other cloud service provider or back to on premises. This is what the IaaS is option is. Now next hosting option is platform as a service, PaaS. PaaS will be having more benefits for .NET application migration to Azure. Microsoft will manage the system software, OS, hardware, etc. Client will be responsible for application only. If you are planning for .NET application migration to Azure, here data will be hosted on Azure SQL database, and here Microsoft will manage the Azure SQL database and security. One more thing we need to consider that we may need to refactor the application or we may need to rebuild it. For .NET application migration to Azure, we can't consider the SaaS hosting option because software as a service solutions are like Office 365 or Microsoft Dynamics 365 because here .NET application is a custom application and we can't consider SaaS option here. Now, what are the benefits of migration? Two main benefits for migration to Azure will be application performance and second one is security. For customer satisfaction, application performance is the key. If your client is having online shopping business, then it will be useful for migrating to Azure because according to demand, the cloud resources will be used. In on-premises scenario, if demand increase, customer can't upgrade their infrastructure quickly. But if the customer hosting their app in cloud in Azure, then it's very easy to increase the compute power or resource capacity. So we can use the scaling option of Azure for web apps and for SQL databases. We don't have to make any changes to the code or redeploy the application. We need to consider scale up. We can get more CPU, memory, disk space. We just need to change the pricing tier of the app service plan that the customer is having. Then we need to consider scale out. Scale out means increasing the number of VM instances. Depending upon your pricing tier, we can scale out the VM instances. One can increase the VM instances or decrease the VM instances. One more thing here I want to add is Azure SQL database and Azure SQL managed instance. To add more resources to your databases, we need minimal downtime. Here we need to remember that single Azure SQL database support manual dynamic scalability, not auto scale. If we want auto scale, then we need to consider the elastic pools concept. Elastic pools means if there is a need of resources for an individual database, then it can share the resources from the resource pool. Next is security consideration. Here in Azure Firewall, hardware is different. Here virtual network actually acts as a firewall for application and services. We can also give another example of storing SQL connection string in Azure Key Vault instead of application configuration file. Networking requirements. Azure will help to secure your application and data by virtual network, which is like firewall. We can easily set up the virtual network, and this will provide network security of your application. We can use Azure Virtual Network for enabling our application to securely communicate with each other to the internet and on-premise network also. Outbound communication to the internet is allowed, but inbound communication is denied. We can configure the ports if we want to, but we need to explicitly allow the inbound communication. We can create virtual network. We can deploy VMs and other resources in a virtual network. This is for direct communication between the resources. We can create service endpoints. To secure critical Azure service resources, we need to create service endpoints. We can use VNet peering, virtual network peering. Through this virtual network peering, we can connect virtual networks to each other by VNet peering. Now, for communication with your on-premises network, we can create point-to-site VPN, site-to-site VPN, and we can use express route connection. In site-to-site VPN connection between virtual network and a single computer. We need to configure each computer if they want to establish connectivity with a virtual network. In site-to-site VPN connection, connectivity between Azure VPN gateway and your on-premises VPN devices. With this connection in your network in on-premises, any resource can access the virtual network. In express route connection, this is a private connection. It's a direct connection between your network and Azure. But here we need to set up this express route partner through express route partner. Some of the express route partners are in New York. For example, in New York it is Equinix NY9. Cloud providers are CenturyLink Cloud Connect. In London, Equinix LD5. Cloud providers are AT&T, Netbond, British Telecom, CenturyLink. In Sydney, Equinix SY2. Service providers are Orange, Verizon, Entity Communication. In Mumbai, Tata Communication. Service providers are BSNL, Reliance Jio, CFI, Verizon, Tata Communication, etc. Azure Active Directory or Azure AD. Azure Active Directory is cloud-based identity and access management service, and this is used for signing and access in Microsoft 365, Azure Portal, or many other SaaS applications within our corporate network or any cloud apps developed in our own company. For authentication, we can use self-service password reset. What this self-service password reset is, through this self-service password reset, any user can change their password through a web browser or any other devices. For multi-factor authentication, user can choose any additional form of authentication like phone call or mobile app notification. Hybrid integration. Hybrid integration is, suppose if an user is resetting his or her password through self-service password reset, then the same password can be written back to on-premises AD environment. We can also use passwordless authentication. Passwordless authentication uses biometrics for Windows Hello for Business or use a FIDO2 compliant security key. We can also use single sign-on SSO capabilities. Here, I want to talk for a moment on FIDO2 compliant security key. FIDO2 compliant security key is for people who shares machine like kiosk or their phone is restricted or any highly privileged user. This security key is like USB devices or Bluetooth or NFC. With the use of FIDO2 security key, users can sign into Azure AD or hybrid Azure AD joint Windows 10 devices, and this is single sign on to cloud and on premises resources. So this is the end of part 1 of .NET application migration to Azure series. I believe that information shared in this video was useful and it will help you in your day-to-day job as an administrator, Azure administrator or Azure cloud admin engineer. Part 2 of this video will be published very soon. See you in the next video and thanks for watching this video.